Energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D, and get it for real. Poutine doesn't like you, Flannel. Not you don't like poutine.
I've never had poutine.
Poutine is the greatest thing ever. And you know what? Anything Canadian doesn't like you, Flannel. Anyways, Neal.
My name is Neal Ruhl, that guy over there. Darren McCarty, noted Canadian.
Yes.
Adopted American. Canadian by birth, dual citizenship guy.
Can American,
as he likes to say. We have KG in the house. What up?
What up, though?
What's really good?
Hey, you tell me. I'm still trying to figure out what's really good.
Spencer Raxter.
Hello.
Wait a minute, I don't like the sound of that one.
I don't know, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's good today.
I was going to say, I know he's good because we were, speaking of Flannel Sam, who was anti-poutine, we were texting last night during the Lakers-Nuggets game.
Yeah.
Did you see Anthony Davis with that devastating injury, able to shake it off and come back into the game?
Dude got bumped into, and he falls on the ground, starts rolling around.
What a warrior that he was able to come back. What a warrior.
So are we happier that the Lakers are ousted or the Lightning?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's tough.
Thanks, Benny.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lakers for sure.
Yeah, I
Anthony
think
Davis.
I think it's the Lakers.
I respect the Lakers.
The Lakers were a limping dog that needed to be put out there.
Just drag him behind the barn and put him down.
Oh, yellow.
I'll do it, Ma. He's my dog.
Oh, that's so cold, man. You know what, though? Props to that kid,
Props
though.
that kid for standing up.
That's the kind of dude you want leading the world,
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
True.
He knew what had to be done. He didn't like it, but he knew what had to be done. No, but it's a big time show lined up for you here today. We got a ton of football to get to, and I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest thing we're going to discuss is the Penei Sewell words when he addressed the media after signing his extension. I want to talk about that. There's a couple of subsets, a couple of directions I want to go off of that, DMAC. I'm just telling everybody right now that is going to be kind of the dominant topic that we get into here today.
It's culture. I like it.
100%. Jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread as well. Get your thoughts in there. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Get it in there. And Chuck Brewer, Neal, did you see the free throw advantage the Lakers had last night? Even the refs couldn't help them. And Chuck, that's my point. Nikola Jokic, the MVP. I mean, I know Embiid got the MVP, but it's really Nikola Jokic's trophy.
Yeah.
The reigning, defending NBA champion, the Finals MVP.
Soon to repeat, it looks like.
Soon to repeat, it looks like. Did not shoot a free throw in his own gym.
It's crazy.
Could you even imagine?
And you still can't stop him.
And he gets hacked. He doesn't sit there and make a meal out of it, dude. He just goes back down the floor, gets the rebound. One of his 20 rebounds he got with his 25 points without the 8 of a free throw. He's the greatest player on planet Earth right now. I honestly believe that.
It's hard to deny it.
Runs the offense as a center, all of it. But yes, I saw it. And day to Davis, man. 1 point in the second half with their season on the line.
Damn. I'm surprised he ain't pulled a Paul Pierce, the wheelchair routine.
He probably will.
Yeah.
he probably will. But yeah, it's jump into the chat on there. DNC ENT AD Paper Soft Dog needed 30 points to cash a plus 7,400 parlay. He was on pace, but the real AD showed up when the lights were the brightest. And DNC ENT, you're more seasoned than that. I'm surprised you fell for that. You have no one to blame but yourself, because you know when the season's on the line, he comes up the smallest. Mr. Glass, as they were calling him on Twitter. I couldn't get enough. Mr. Glass. So that's out there. Couple housekeeping things to get to. Shout out to Marvin and Willie who are here in studio.
Hey,
Studio audience today.
Studio audience here today. So shout out to Marvin and Willie.
Actually, you know, Willie's wife was the one that I ripped that. Remember I told that story about when I picked it up in the slot and I absolutely leaned into it off the goalie's head and in the net. Went back to the bench. Joey Kosher looks at me and says, you know that was a woman. And I looked at him and said, she made her choices. That was Willie's wife. So we're here. Come full circle,
life
baby.
comes full circle, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Which, by the way, you'd be proud. We played that Rangers alumni game.
Yes.
Oh, you was
I know.
missed the hat trick over here.
Thank you, Prep. Technically, KG, it was Red Berenson who banged in the third one. It was a goal mouth scramble, so I had 2 and 1. But, I mean, you know,
You'll take
what it is. It was a victory. So everybody who came out to Fraser, supported, saw Vladdy back on the ice with the Bell Tire sled team and stuff like this. It was such a great day. The place was packed. Thanks to all the New York Rangers guys that came in and stuff like that. It was cool to see, like, Ron Duguay. Ron Duguay looks like he might not have, like, the hair as puffy, but he's out there, no bucket, just cruising around. But I represented the squad.
There.
So
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
wanted to say.
Saw that celly. Saw that celebration.
Yeah. You can get low.
I
You
get
low a
low,
little
you
bit,
know.
every now and then.
Every now and then, once in a while.
Nick
You
Lucido.
only see that on the golf course.
Nick Lucido, our resident Rangers fan. Good to see you the other day,
that
D-Mac.
was
Nice
it.
hat trick. We're coming for you next year.
Yeah,
So.
I like it. I had to put it to, Nick showed up, and like always, he's the first one there to congratulate in a losing. He's used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle, welcome to National Toronto Elimination Day to those who celebrate.
I was gonna ask you, Neal. Is there a vibe? Do you have a lean? Is this it? Are they going out at home or?
Was it Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner are chirping each other on the bench? It's over.
Nylander, quick crying.
It's
this and
absolutely
that, stuff
over.
like this. Are you there for it? Are you locked in? Or watch it?
You know the answer.
Yeah, baby.
This is.
Let's go.
This is.
I thought this year would be different. I really did.
I know. I know you did, D-Mac.
Imploding. not upset.
Me
Don't
neither.
get it twisted.
What'd you say, Spenny?
I said everyone should be here for Toronto's downfall.
I pray on it.
Yeah.
I pray on their downfall.
I'm just
I'm the
rooting-
T Grizzly.
I'm rooting. I was talking. Me and Gentry were texting the other day about who we want to see win the cup, and I was saying the Canes or Edmonton because I want to see McDavid get one. But then I was like, I kind of want the Canes. I kind of want the Canes to do it again, or the Rangers. Rangers would be cool.
I want the Panthers. If I had to power rank it, I want Panthers 1. Well, I take that back. I want McJesus to get.
That's fair.
I want Oilers 1, Panthers 1A. If either of them, I would. It's kind of interchangeable to me.
That's where you want the final.
Yeah, Canes. I don't know why. I like the Hurricanes, but I do.
Hey.
They're not what I'm about. There's no showmanship. There's no 70 goal score. They don't talk.
They play like their coach, Rod Brindamore,
Yeah.
right? And
It's kinda
stuff like that,
boring.
and here's the.
They win every game 3-2.
Let me throw a little caveat right here, right now, to watch out for because if you notice, Seattle just fired their coach, Dave Hackstall, right? Ron Francis, who was in Carolina. Rod Brindamore's up on his final year of his contract. Don't know. This might be the last hurrah in Carolina before Ron Francis tries to get Brindamore out to Seattle. So, there's always a buzz in the building. I know, for us, and it's not exactly the same thing, but we sort of had an idea Scotty might be hanging him up after the 0-2 season, so it was really imperative, especially in the finals, to get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody asked in the chat, by the way, jump into the chat, subscribe to the YouTube. The hat. This is the Birmingham Groves junior varsity white baseball team.
Shout out.
JV white squad in the house. They're in action tonight, by the way.
Okay.
Shout out to Birmingham Groves JV white squad. They're going to be mixing up with Seaholm. It's a double header. It's a big day.
That's like a derby.
They have become the official team, I guess you would, of Big D Energy. Coached
are?
by none other than Ryan Lentz.
Yep.
Really?
So a big doubleheader today against Seaholm.
Lance, you
Groves
got any
and Seaholm.
visors?
Yep.
I could rock a visor.
Taye getting the start today. So shout out Taye. You're on the bump, kid. Big game.
Big game.
Throw some strikes.
Throw some strikes, get the win. We got to get the Groves boys a win here today. So we got to get right, everybody. Shout out Ty, work the zone, live on the black a little bit right there, and let's get the win. I'm repping. I'm in there, man.
Shout out.
I'm in there. Shout out. So we'll update you tomorrow with what happens. Hey, when you want the shine, the lights are on now. So
true.
Here we go, everybody. And so shout out to them. Alan W. saying Jokic doesn't whine tells me you don't watch basketball. He was hacked with a minute to go yesterday.
And he doesn't complain like most of the other players do.
No.
Of course he does talk to the rest a little bit, but not like most players.
Hacked, turned around, went back down the floor, got the rebound. His 20th.
Yeah.
With 25 points, with no free. It wasn't an Embiid 25, where 14 of them were free throws.
He didn't shoot a free throw.
He didn't shoot a free throw. He wasn't 7 of 19 from the floor like Embiid when the season was on the line. So, man, it's going to be an old Yeller Tuesday in the sports world.
Yep.
There's going to be a line.
Tigers doubleheader today. That's cool.
Yeah.
Tigers
man.
doubleheader, which actually I was supposed to present Tyler Holton with the Detroit Sports Media Association Rookie of the Year award, and the game got canceled. So we'll have to do it next. We'll have to do it next homestand.
That's what's up. That's a flex. I see you.
I'm just saying. We'll reschedule it. We'll do it later.
Yeah, but you're about contests too.
Yeah.
You're all about giving that away and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So we'll get that.
Go Tigers.
We'll get that handle. Sam Reynolds, Sam Flannel, except in the 2020 NBA Finals. That is LeBron's championship that AD was allowed to participate in. That's what that was. I don't know how many more of these 1-point second halves with the season on the line you need to see. And I look forward to him being in the Hall of Fame day to day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The Anthony Davis Hall of Fame display will be on. It'll be closed Tuesday and Thursday. Then it'll be out for 2 weeks.
His exhibit is going to be like a T-shirt and jeans because street clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, jorts for sure, bro.
No, absolutely.
You won't even have to put a name plate. You just put a pair of jorts there, and everybody knows whose it is.
No, absolutely. Now, we've talked before. Oh, it is a Rest in Peace Tuesday, as the people are talking about, by the way.
We already buried 3 teams. But
Well, there's a lot to choose from.
Lot of variety.
There is a lot to choose from. Spenny, we've talked about the 9-9 challenge, right? For a
Yes.
baseball game. We're still efforting that.
Yes.
To get Spencer Raxter to the 9-9 challenge. 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, 9 innings.
I'm with that.
Spenny,
Yeah, I found something.
you sent something out. Somebody has upped that game, and they've moved it to the golf course. This right here, 18 holes of golf, 18 beers, 18 hot dogs.
Damn. Doubled.
Now, Spenny, you're a man.
That's aggressive.
That's 4 hours.
That's a lot of glizzies.
So you know that's 4 hours.
Yes.
4, depending, maybe
Yeah.
4.5.
Yeah, that's...
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a golf tournament, like a charity golf tournament, that usually takes 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe. But this looked like it was Homie and the boys.
I just got to make sure I get my tea time behind like Gladys and Sharon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can wait.
Anybody with a
while.
9 wood in their
Yeah.
bag.
Oh,
That's who you
yeah.
got to be behind.
Yeah.
You want to tee off right after ladies' night.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I
yeah.
could do it though.
But Spenny,
I've
I
definitely
think
drank.
you can do it. If I'm putting money on anybody, it's
I've
you.
definitely
Spenny-
drank 18 beers on a course before.
yeah, you're a man that is very confident in his abilities.
This one is.
Even you
Yeah,
are a bit shook on this
That one's
one.
aggressive. Like I said, the 18 beers would be no problem. The 18 hot dogs.
That's a problem.
That's a lot of hot
glizzies,
dogs.
man.
We saw another variation. We don't have the clip of it here, but we've seen another variation. 9 innings, 9 beers, 9 zins.
Yes.
Every inning.
Nick-
That's
Nicotine
like
patches.
to keep them going 9. Like, I couldn't do that to end up with 9 in your mouth.
Yeah, that's tough.
I've never had a Zin before, so I don't know if I'd.
Probably just stay away. You don't get anything else.
Yeah.
Nicotine patches.
So
Back in my day, if it was 18 beers, 18 darts on 18 holes, that'd be easy.
well, yeah,
that's-
of course. You do that in life right now.
Yeah.
I could burn a J every hole.
Yeah.
Damn right. 18 J's.
Yeah. So it is. That's aggressive.
That is aggressive.
Even Spenny signs off. What do you think, Spenny? You think you could pull it off?
I think if I really.
If you dug deep.
If I dug deep and I trained for it, yeah, I could. 18 hot dogs.
That's a lot of space to.
Could
fill up
you
in the
walk
color.
out of this booth and walk onto the course and do it?
I'd give it my best shot.
I think it's the beers are fine,
Beers
but I
are
think
fine.
it's like 14, like
The
in those
dogs,
last 4
yeah.
dogs down.
Yeah, it's not going to be enjoyable.
Might have to Kobayashi or Joey.
When I think
Chestnut
about
to
it
water
as
them.
like one
A beer and a hot dog a hole.
Yeah.
Like the par threes are.
par 3's a
Killer.
killer. Maybe if I was walking it, could burn off those glizzies as I'm doing the round.
Hey, can you go pull that picture up again?
Yeah.
Of the guy. Let's just. I want to take a little bit deeper.
It's a lot.
I want to take a little.
It
bit
looks like they're
deeper.
walking.
They are walking.
Yeah.
So Spenny, but it also looks like he's carrying his own bag.
Yeah,
That no boy.
that's aggressive.
And
You
this
get
guy-
either a pull cart or somebody carries your bag and do it.
Yeah.
I think that if somebody caddied for Spenny and walked the course,
Yeah.
then he could just focus on that and not have to do it.
Maybe.
That's what I think.
I'd have to go to DNC ENT or like one of the resident gamblers on the show. We need a line. Could
Oh, it's
Spenny-
got to be plus 200.
So okay. So I was thinking in that realm, like plus
That's
180.
Good. That's good
Like
value,
I'd
though.
say like 180 if he's got a caddy. It's got to be 220, 225 if He's in a cart.
I might take that. It's not bad value. It's not.
All right.
The Wayfan says no way I could do 18 beers. 18 beers, I'm not worried about.
Yeah.
I could do 18
No,
beers myself.
you'll have 18 beers done by 7 holes.
Yeah.
Right.
The beers are the easy
Beers
part.
are the easy
right.
part. The 18 hot dogs,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
By the 10th hot dog, you like over
All
that
them
shit.
18 buns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot, man.
Oh, my God.
It's a lot of carbs.
I don't know. Your line's going up as
It's a
we
lot
talk
of
this
carbs.
through.
What's 300 already?
No, absolutely. All right, let's get into it. Panay Sewell addressed the media. We're going to take the break. When we come back, there's a couple of different angles I want to get into with that. Tell them about Guardian. If you do the 18-18 challenge, you're going to need a Guardian.
Oh, no doubt. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians that take the time to recommend secure and automated solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring, call anytime, day or night. Know the Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. Business, pleasure. Guardian doesn't care. They just want you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of getting swept in the playoffs, Lakers. You got one win. Congratulations.
Stay out of the second round of the playoffs, Lakers. Oh, wait, you don't need Guardian for that. You do that on your own.
Stay out of a
Guardian
hospital
Alarm.
bed, Anthony Davis.
There it is. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy. We sent you.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
What's good, man? How you doing? What you got for me today?
Let's have a look, man.
I see the one I want right there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Welcome to the winner's circle, Blake.
Hey.
Figer Law. All we do is win.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling their number of restaurants this year. Known for their quality hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, their sandwiches, and their New York-style pizza. You can stop into any mega station near you and get some of that Soroki's food, or go to Sorokis.com to find out where you can get some of this great food.
All right, we're off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty. We got KG, we got Spencer Raxter. Shout out Marvin and Willie. They're hanging out in studio as well. We'll be joined, too, as we always are, by Dr. Jeff Pierce coming up in just a little bit. I don't know if you guys caught that act. The NFL talking about ditching a preseason game and going to 18 regular season games.
It's crazy.
Like, what's the limit, man? Like, how much can you take?
The limit does not exist.
Well, we'll get the answers.
It's going to be a lot of injuries. I know that.
Well, if only we had somebody we could talk to about that.
know,
That's
right?
right, we do. So Dr. Jeff Pierce will join us coming up in just a little bit. Lots of chatter about the Timberwolves. I know you're a big Anthony Edwards guy.
Yes.
You calling it? You calling the shot?
I'm not going to call the shot. I think they're going to give the Nuggets hell, though. I think they could very well win the series.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. That's people are talking about that. They're calling the shots as well. I don't know how much they can deal with Jokic. What are you talking about? You got the Defensive Player of the Year, multi-time Defensive Player of the Year.
They can't beat the Nuggets in 7. It'll be a good series, though, like Spinny said. They not beating
What do you mean they don't have anyone to contain Jokic? Multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year, the franchise. Traded multiple first-rounders to get him.
Miss me with that.
That's what happened.
The man that started COVID missed me with that.
I hate Rudy Gobert.
Yes, I
He
can't
did
stand
start
the
COVID.
man.
Let me tell you somebody, though, that we don't hate around here. Certainly. Panay Sewell
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
was called to the podium, gave his press conference regarding his contract extension, I guess you could call it, that he locked up that made him the highest paid offensive lineman in NFL history. And we were all able to hear from Panay Sewell. What do you have to say?
About the Super Bowl.
Do that just to win, bro. Like, it's nothing else to it. Like, all those individual accolades don't mean nothing. Like, I want the big boy, and I want it now. So.
Pretty simple. D-Mac, quote, I want the big boy, and I want it now.
And he ain't talking the gold jacket you already got.
Yeah, that's already got.
No, individual stats, and that's, you believe him 1,000,000%. That's what you want. That's why you pay a guy that much money. I mean, you couldn't be in a better position. I love the fact of what he talked about, from culture and about being seen, to the fact he mentioned, Brad Holmes gave him the lay, which, he sees him and stuff like that. To me, that's what it's all about, right? And it goes back to the excitement. I've seen a clip when Brad Holmes drafted him. So, again, here we go. This is just part of it moving along, and you don't think that guy is not one of your leaders in this team. And he's going to drag – the guys like that can drag the rest of the guys into the war with them. And guys 100%. Will go. Guys who aren't comfortable going in the war, not saying that, but maybe it's their first time or something like that. The younger guys, you have all the confidence in having a guy like Penny Sewell around because of what he's all about.
D-Mac, you've heard me say this before, and mark me on this, all right? You tell me where this kind of fits. But as I said, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, did they change things here? Absolutely. Certainly. Amon-Ra St. Brown, absolutely. Certainly. But D-Mac, the moment I knew that this was different was when they were playing the Rams, Sewell's rookie year. Actually, the 49ers game, when he got up in Nick Bosa's grill, and then a couple weeks, and then handled him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't just talk. It wasn't just somebody coming in here. The Lions always had those guys that would come in here and talk, but then not do anything. He was about business. He talked to Bosa about it. He put Bosa in a phone booth. Fast forward a couple weeks later, they're playing the Rams. Aaron Donald's talking junk. Not the Sewell, you're not. That was the day that it changed here. And Penei Sewell is the man that changed it.
When you...
I know there's ancillary stuff to it and all that kind of stuff, but I'm talking about, to me as a fan, the day he stood up to the best in the league time after time after time and not just talked about it, beat about it. Mm-hmm. That's when it was all different, D-Mac. That's when I got the vibe that said, all right, we can ride with this. Now, they were in a situation where, you had Jelani Tavai and Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins on the books for $20 million to not be there. Like, that was that season. So certainly that season was, your foundation season. But his actions and his words, he was about action. He was about his words, all of it. What he did, Penei Sewell's the one that changed all this, D-Mac. I'll stand on that forever.
And here's the thing. Here's my question to that statement. Who is the player, the number one player that best exemplifies their coach? Don't we say that teams take the characteristics of their coach? Good teams do. Is Penei Sewell not Dan Campbell, if Dan Campbell was a player at that position to whatever, meaning that when you have, and especially here's where it changed, Neal, to making your point, in his rookie year, right? Drafted, change. To me, Penei Sewell is the cornerstone to Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. It's the Trinity. You're always looking for the Trinity. He is the stalwart piece to their puzzle, bringing it in, their guy and stuff like this. Just go back to the draft. Go watch when they drafted him and they got him. That's when it changed. Now, to your point, words are something, expectations are another thing, but then putting it on tape and action doing it, telling you once, showing you twice. And from that moment, consistency to that point, right? To that point that every day goes out there. I watched the highlight of, remember when he came out of the backfield, caught the pass, got the first down and fell down. The DB for Minnesota tried to grab the ball after the whistle, and he took a swipe at him, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, when he's
not about the game.
Listen, when he's between those lines, for lack of a better term, that's his dojo, that's his rink, that is his.
He's not there playing with you.
No, dude, he's the lion. Like, no pun intended, but he is Mufasa out there.
Woodward Sports chat as well. Detroit supremacy. We should have drafted Parsons and traded up for Darrisaw. We'd be champs by now.
Come on with that.
All right, Spenny, you're my resident on this because you've stood on business with this before. Mm-hmm. Parsons, Sewell, straight up. Phone booths.
Bread box.
Bread box. Door closed.
Door closed.
The little ribbed wood that slides down.
Oh yeah.
With a handle on it. Mm-hmm. There's no discussion, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking. That's why he's different.
We got Sewell and Hutch. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'll ride with my guys.
100%, man. And so will the Lions organization, because Sewell's already the highest paid offensive lineman in the history of the game, and justifiably so. Because I told the Hall of Fame committee this 2 years ago. I was out in front of all this inflation talk. I said, Bill, start getting the materials for his gold jacket now. Stay in front of inflation. Did they listen? I don't know. But perhaps they should have, because I could have saved him a couple bucks. He's going to Canton. He's a Hall of Famer. He will be a Super Bowl champ. Look at his face when he talks. You think he's playing with you?
He's not.
Hey, address this too, because Weezy, but it didn't change, Neal saying, until they added. Because yes, Decker and Ragnow deserve some flowers for helping, but to get over the edge, and what made the difference was adding Penei Sewell to them.
Yeah.
Not saying that other guys don't deserve it and aren't part of it, like you mentioned, the Jamie Collins and the guys who got it going, but this was the difference. Adding him to those guys really solidified, what do we talk about? What's your greatest asset? Your offensive line. So that's what it is. Yes, they deserved it, but they couldn't pull it over the edge. They needed this extra piece, and they were there before. But when they added Sewell, and that's usually the way it is. That's what great teams do.
Absolutely, man. Sewell is this, D-Mac, and you and I have this discussion often. Sewell is the Fedorov to the Red Wing. Like that undeniable talent. That abnormal talent. Somebody that's just built differently.
Yeah. See, is he Fedorov?
The styles are different, but the talent's the same.
Okay, see, I'm gonna challenge you on that and say he's your Lidstrom. He's your Lidstrom. He's right. Whether it's like Jokic, he's the Lidstrom, right? Whether Embiid and other guys win his trophy or not,
just the mercurial talent,
right? And then if you style of play different, but the mercurial talent of what you have. Gold jacket to the epitome. Now, it's different because Penei Sewell, you're going to know he's there, right? To that point where Nick Lidstrom, it was the way that he did it, but the consistency and what they mean to the organization, yes. And only saying that because I would say that that's where your Amon-Ra St. Brown is more of your Fedorov.
Fair.
But he's a combo of Yzerman and Fedorov.
Yes. Right? Yeah. And that's what it like the mercurial talent.
Mercurial. Like when you say Nick Lidstrom, like what do you think? Like, oh, okay. Either one or two greatest defensemen of all time behind Bobby Orr, depending on how old you are, right? I mean, it's non-negotiable. You go three if you want to stick it in there. But so when you're talking about Penei Sewell, one of the best at his position in the game. And he hasn't even played his natural position.
How old is he? Is he like 23 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, come on, bro. Like,
in 3 years, we're already saying he's a Hall of Famer. And then I also think you can't put a price tag on, yes, the talent is there, but he's also become the heart and soul of your team.
That's what's up, man.
He's the one leading these guys. When they break down the huddles before the game, who's in the center of that?
Mm-hmm. The 23-year-old.
Exactly.
And who's got every eyeball, undivided attention? Who's got the undivided attention of one of the best receivers in the game? Penei Sewell does.
He does.
That matters, man.
Yeah.
100% that. He's 3 years away from being 26.
It's crazy.
It is. It's absurd, man. The whole thing. He's absurd. And I'm telling you this, D-Mac, he'll never get the credit because he's an offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. But I've been in a lot of locker rooms. Obviously, you've been in a lot of locker rooms. And I kind of learned this from you, from talking to you. That doesn't translate in a camera, in a snapshot, in a play on a Sunday.
No.
You know that's there, though.
No, you can and go watch the after, the victory celebrations and stuff like that. You just see it, and you can feel you feel his presence wherever he is, right? People don't have that. That is a gift. And he's got that gift. And especially, like you said, because he's wise beyond his years. But to me, he most epitomizes your coach.
Yeah.
Right? and the way that he
on-field
plays.
version. Yep.
Rat kind of put it all in perspective for himself. Sewell's further away from 26 than I am from 40. Shake my head. It's grim. It is absolutely grim. All right, we will take the break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Dr. Jeff Pierce. Some breaking news in the NFL. I think that kind of went under the radar a little bit, and it's handy that Dr. Jeff Pierce is here from the Michigan Sport and Spine Center. I want to know, what's the limit? What's the limit of the body? Because in the NFL, we're going to find out, everybody.
Damn right.
Hey, guys, after an accident, we're going to get serious now. After an accident, people need to hire a lawyer more than any other time in their lives. So make Feiger Law your first call. 1-800-A-WINNER. 1-800-A-WINNER. Their team of trial lawyers will get you the money you deserve. Feiger Law, all we do is win.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for FeldmanAuto.com. That's right. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. There's 18 Feldman Automotive locations, so you know there's one closest to you. And we're talking all brands as well. You want a Ford, a Chevy, a Kia, whatever you want. Go to FeldmanAuto.com. They can get you squared away. And again, FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. And don't forget, too, it's not just buying a car. It's service as well. I've handled that. I'm in the middle of that right now. They're doing some work on my car for me. The process was seamless, and it's been incredible. They've absolutely been incredible to deal with. Again, FeldmanAuto.com. All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty. You know we have KG. You know we have Spencer Raxter. And all of you in the Woodward Sports chat. As we do every Tuesday, it is time for our weekly conversation with Dr. Jeff Pierce, the medical director at the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. And Doc, look, lots of news to get into. Certainly a lot of things that I want to discuss with you, but I want to bottom line this right now. Roger Goodell yesterday, the news broke actually yesterday, is looking at wanting to add another regular season game to the NFL slate. Cut out a preseason game, add an 18th regular season game. What's the limit, Dr. Pierce? These guys are basically in a series of car crashes so many times throughout the week. What's the limit? Where can it stop?
Is there a limit, right? There isn't. College we look at, Pee Wee football we look at, all this stuff. Now, what's taking control? The safety of the players, or is this a financial business?
I don't know,
model?
Dr. Pierce. Yeah, it's a great question.
Your sarcastic answer back is, you can't ignore it. Look what went on here for the NFL draft. When we really break it down, what was that? It was
my wife describes it well.
Neal's watch this, Doc.
Yeah, my wife describes it well.
This is great.
So you're not watching a game? No. So what are they doing? Well, they're announcing the players that they picked from college. So there's no game? No.
That's how beautiful the NFL is. How powerful they are. And there's no medical behind it. right? There's no medical statement other than hats off to him for building a brand that's untouchable, right? So when you're going 18 games, there's no medical discussion, right? We'll do what we got to do because the business is driving it. But then think about other businesses, right? If you're doing well, you just mentioned Feldman. Feldman's got 18 locations.
FeldmanAuto.com.
I'm pushing for Feldman right now.
Right,
Friends of mine, and they do support my charity, which shout out to them.
Yes.
But they have 18 locations. Why? Because they're more successful the more they build, right? So you're building it. Look at it that way. It's only a business decision. There's no safety of patients. There's no better of the league, but it does expand what we want, right? How upset are you when the season's over? How excited are you when you see a preseason game versus a season game? You don't care about preseason. You're all excited. You're spending money. You're making plans for that season game.
I do get excited for the first 2 series of the preseason game.
And here's the catch, like you said, right? Because it's dollars. So what is it, a 53-man roster right now, Neal?
Yep.
They'll expand it to 55. They're going to give 2 new jobs at big pay, and they're going to give back. So every team, there's 64 new jobs in the NFL because we care, right? Because we care.
Yep.
Hey, they got to expand the roster because they're going to lose 2 more guys with an extra game because they can't prepare. We know this as athletes, right? But don't get mad at us when we say, yeah, we know we're just a piece of meat, and what have you done for me lately? And there's no better truth. What the NFL Players Association, which are not right, go to 18 games, guarantee my contract. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like and it'll never happen because they're too powerful. But you might get an extra player on the roster or something else. So they're going to give back and appease everybody else. But they don't care about your health.
And I know we're going down like the financial hole of it right now.
Right.
But
let's go back to medical.
Yeah, to your area of expertise here. No, but for real though, Doc, I mean, when is enough? Physically.
It's not like Darren's saying, we have the next man up. You know, in basketball, we're taking players out of games to rest them. Is that going to turn into what's going to happen in football? We're going to rest key players during key situations where we're going to measure our percentage of winning. Maybe we don't need our best player. Let's rest him. He's got an injured ankle. Let's let him sit out because the season is longer. And in their mind, it's like, well, we're just switching a preseason to a real game, which I don't have, you know, most of those players aren't playing those games anyhow. So I don't have an answer for you because you have people that will just get through it. It's one more week. What's one more week? We'll play one more week. I'm going to struggle one more week. Our center for this year, how many injuries showed up at the end of the season? He just kept pushing, right? I'm in a playoff. I'm winning. This is the best we've ever been. These guys are professional. They're there to play. There's no limit. You talk about collisions. You talk about all that stuff. Yeah, but what's one more week? So I don't think the medical is going to have a bearing on if they play 18 or not. Will people get injured? Yeah, you're at risk of injury. You're breaking down. You're surviving. Look at the NBA playoffs. Look at LA Lakers yesterday. They're limping through the playoffs. You know, the medical for everything plays a bigger role than anybody gives credit for. Like a successful team usually will have successful players that are healthy at the right time. And the Lakers, were they better than Denver? Maybe. I don't know. But there's not a simple answer to your question. The guys will do it. That's going to be the new norm. If we go to 18 this year, 5 years from now, everybody's prepping for it. Will we complain and have conversation like that? Oh, this guy injured because he, the repetitive injuries happen. If you're unfortunate game 1 or game 18. It's going to happen somewhere in there. It's just how you prepare. I'm rambling. Our science of recovery will be more important. We're better now than we were 5 years ago, 2 years ago. Every year we're improving with what I keep saying, the secret sauce and our regenerative medicine. All this stuff is taking off. So we can heal these people supposedly faster, recover faster. We're spending more money on their recovery. I'll shut up.
Because you're spending more on their salaries, right? Yeah, I mean, that's the way that it works, yeah.
It's a it's a business at the end of the day.
100%.
You know, the medical team, it's a business too. I mean, we want what's best. We want you want to win against the team playing with their best players. And we want to make sure all that happens. You never want to beat a team like, you know, how excited was OKC. I'm up on basketball right now.
No, and
you're wrong,
Yeah.
Doc.
No.
You're absolutely wrong. We don't. When it comes down to crunch time in the playoffs, I hope everybody else on the other team
Gets hurt?
is sick. You want to win. We don't care. Like, you go up against and prepare for that. But if a guy goes down or hit, what is my job in the playoffs? I got one guy that I'm trying to knock out of this series, right? So, I mean, maybe the hockey mentality or whatever. But you got to. So the imperativeness is if there is a guy down, you can't rest on your laurels and take it easy. But I don't care what it is. Winning's winning. At the end of the day, they don't go back and go, oh, but he.
No, there is no buts.
There's a little asterisk.
That's me.
Yeah.
To the medical profession and to the fans, you want best on best. It's glad. But as a professional, no. When I go in there, am I mad that the number one goalie in the league that locks us down pulled his groin? Absolutely not.
Talking with Dr. Jeff Pierce here, the medical director of the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. You can check out their work at michigansportandspine.com. But Dr. Pierce, you brought up the NBA. So I did want to ask you about this because this has been a story since he came in the league.
Right.
And I think it's more like, look, people are going to say soft or injury or whatever. I think it's more of a story of your end of things, the science of it all. Zion Williamson, the Pelicans got swept out of the playoffs. He missed the game. I believe it was a hamstring injury. He left early in game 3 and then obviously, did not play, and that was the end of the road for the Pelicans. The thing for me with Zion is this. He's an interesting case study in your field. Size, right? Size and the nature of his game and muscles, tendons, feet, all of that kind of stuff. He's so big. But obviously he's athletic. But again, how much is too much?
I was out there saying this guy should show up. Right, I talked about Butler versus Zion. That Butler must really be hurt if he's sitting on the sidelines because it takes a lot to take him out. I talk about the grit. We talk about the mental strength, all that. And tying everything in. OKC, bless you, sir.
Thank you.
OKC, how proud are they sweeping the Pelicans? But like Darren's saying, they don't care. We beat a professional team that we were up against. For me, it's like, well, would you have swept them if Zion was playing? So there's that whole debate. But how does Zion not show up? I try to research what his injury was. Unfortunately, I have no ties to Orlando. I like to know who was hurt. What was his problem? Why couldn't you be out there to be a force at all? Then you start looking at mental integrity. How it's a hamstring. We tape that up all day long. Can he take off? Can he dunk? With 6 inches less over the rim. I mean, what? I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of questions coming in. I was wrong. I felt that he would be a better asset than he's shown to be. And then this, for sure, not being showing up to any of the games. I mean, either their medical staff is struggling, but a hamstring injury, unless there's no documented tear, there's no...
With your season on the line.
With your season... when's the last time they were in the playoffs? Has he ever been in a playoff?
Yeah, he has in the past, yeah. But they haven't stuck around.
Yeah.
People do have some questions, though, about it. D's 411, he is overweight, needs to get to 250 or less. Give me the science on that.
Well, you're looking at mechanics. 250 or less, yeah, that was said when he was entering the league, right? You got to be a certain size. His lower body doesn't match his upper body. But then a lot of players are that way. Is he creating too much impact? When you look at the science, like Wayne State's really good at sports science. We look at pressures. We look at, what's going on with the ligaments. What can hold? What can his ankles hold with all this power coming off of it? You could say that, but the science is this guy grew up this way. This is the way his body was. It's not like all of a sudden we put all this weight on this smaller frame. His frame has been taking it. So they are small nagging injuries. Can we go to the science and the mechanics and the vector forces? Not to get too technical,
Man.
but there are vector forces that run through all the way from your head to your ankle. And his are off. His take different pressures. Like a normal pressure, just to give you an idea, from a hip with extra weight, for every pound you're overweight on your hip is about 4 pounds of pressure when you're actively
Makes sense,
moving.
yeah.
So it's 4 to 6 pounds. So when you're saying he's 30 pounds overweight, he's putting technically 120 more pounds of force on his joints that he wouldn't be if he was lighter. So there is, I don't want to get too technical,
You're
but
right.
there are vector forces that we look at when you're compounding what we call axial loading. When he elevates and hits the ground, that's axial loading to the body. And the body has to take that impact. Then we can talk about intrinsic and extrinsic, the muscles that take the pressure versus receive the pressure.
Right.
So every time you're running, you're doing a push-up, but you're also doing an accept. So there's a force and a reaction. So all that's got to be taken into account with him. And, there's sciences, and, we see everybody that get all, with the lights on them to see what the forces are. That's all real science. Like when you're looking at Olympic athletes where we really deal with milliseconds of differences, that's where those perfections come in. And it's creeping into, what we're doing now.
All right, Dr. Pierce, before we let you go here, D-Mac, you said it was the knee.
Yeah.
He's got golf going. You know how D-Mac is, 0 to 100, right? Like,
Yep.
hasn't played, now he's going to play every single day of his life for the rest of the summer. Said the knees bother him. What can you do for him? What are we talking about here?
It's Mac. I mean, Mac's going to do whatever he does.
Get him right, Doc.
No, I mean, prevention.
We're all going to go through this, everyone that's watching right now.
But I mean, how old, can we say how old you are?
52.
52. You were supposed to hit the tour at 50 by now.
I understand, but I got sidetracked with Neal.
All right. Well, we still got to work on it. No, I mean, you talk about decades, right? We talk about decades, but it's really not decades. It's days. Every day you're changing. Like for you, I mean, you do go 0 to 50 in a second. We talked about it. It's nice out. People aren't ready. You're the classic weekend story, right? Your muscles. We say the quads. What really saves your knee? Your balance of the quads. But if you're golfing, there's a little rotation that you're doing on your swing, and you probably want to hit the ball that same distance you were 10 years ago. So you're tweaking a little bit more.
No, I don't. I hit it further now than I did 10 years ago. Don't get it twisted.
But you're getting that rotation. Is it a smooth rhythm of the rotation? Or are you putting a little bit more torque on that knee? Right? I'm gonna just put a little bit more into it. So one is you gotta realize, is it the inside or outside of the knee?
Inside.
Inside? So you're classic. So it's a pivotal movement on your swing. What knee is it?
Right.
So your right knee. So it's playing behind. So you got to follow through with that. So you may do the Scotty Scheffler where you let that back leg swing out a little bit to take the torque off of your knee. So
there you go. You're getting golf.
And you know what? That's where it is. Toes up.
Yeah, you like leave that right.
No. And you know what the funny thing is? Obviously, after did it, because I've never had, like Doc will tell you, out of all my injuries, it's never like knees or whatever like this, but it was walking. It was from stepping, right, like incorrectly or whatever like that. But to his point is that I had to find what took the pressure off that, and it's the Scheffler. So
there it is.
He already without even knowing, he already diagnosed.
No video. I didn't have any video.
Yeah, I like it. Doc, we appreciate your time as always, my friend. And
so that's the stuff we can do for all the listeners and stuff like that. And you get it for free here, but we'll be happy if something's bugging you for more than 2. The rule is 2 weeks for all the weekend warriors that are getting out in the warm weather. If it's bothering you for more than 2 weeks, you got to make a phone call.
There it is. All right, you guys got it. And you can check them out, too, MichiganSportandSpine.com as well. Dr. Pierce, appreciate the time, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Doc.
Good job, guys.
Spenny, tell them about Premier Pet Supply.
I will tell them about Premier Pet Supply, because Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for 30-plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local, curbside, home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Neal Ruhl here for shop.woodwardsports.com. You a Brad Holmes guy? I think we all are around here. Get the Brad Holmes guy t-shirt right there for you. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. There's a Woodward Sports golf line as well. You're going to be out there hitting the links. We just gave you some sound medical advice. Now get some good dressing advice as well. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com. All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy. Shout out to Dr. Jeff Pierce. Appreciate his time. As always, the medical stuff always seems to pop up the day before he comes on.
Yeah.
It's great timing.
It's crazy.
Now I know what it's like to be Ermanni and Edwards with Matt. Everything lines up for you all the time. All right, it is Tuesday. You guys know what that means. It's time to put some folks in the coffin. It is a rest in peace Tuesday. Who wants it? Who's going first?
I'll go first.
D-Mac.
Right.
Okay, that's
D-Mac.
And you know what? I'm not doing this, so this ain't a jinx or anything to do it for tonight, and I expect it to be done tonight. Misnomer, but I'm going series. It's over. The Boston Bruins will win this series. Toronto will not come back. Toronto is in the coffin.
Can you do it one more
We were
time?
going to see.
I got you.
Right? And to that point, you might, they're going to have to do serious overhauls. This is the last day, whether the coach, getting rid of Marner,
Right. At what point is it enough, D-Mac?
This has to be enough. This has to be enough, but there's no way they are coming back, especially after hearing, so when you got a point, too, is that with Boston's 30 games in a row, back and forth to goalies. They even did in the first round of the playoffs until Toronto won game 2. But Jeremy Swayman, who got dissed by Toronto, a pick before he got picked by Boston, thought he was going there. This is karma all over the place. So, bye-bye, Leafs. I mean, apropos. So I'm going to put them right away right now for the series. They might win tonight, but they're not winning the series. Thank you, Kenny.
So,
I got you.
So there it is. For those that are interested, because that's going to be the next spinoff, Mitch Marner, by the way. 1 year left on his deal, $11 million cap hit next year.
No.
Someone's going to ask, though. So I just wanted to cut that off right there. Who's going next?
I'll go next.
All right, Spencer Raxter.
I'm not going to take the low-hanging fruit because I know Neal probably wants to do the Lakers. But I'm going to do Alexander Ovechkin in playoff hockey.
Damn.
R.I.P. to Alexander Ovechkin in playoff hockey.
Spenny.
Because he's going to be back to, he's going after the record, so he's going to try to break Gretzky's record, and he'll get it for sure. But he's not going to play another game of playoff hockey. That team will not make the playoffs next year. It won't make the playoffs the year after that. And if he plays 2 more seasons, he's going to break the record and then he'll retire. So he went out sad, 0 points. 0 points in his last playoff series.
2 games with no shots.
Yeah.
No shots,
It's tough.
bro.
Can't allow that to happen if you're the Capitals. And, they didn't deserve to be there. It was obvious. And Ovi went out sad. He's never going to play another playoff hockey game this year. Unless he leaves the Capitals, which he's not going to do.
And the Capitals got 4 extra games, and guess what? They still didn't win as many games as the Red Wings.
Yeah.
So there you have that as well.
Snap.
It is sad though. This is I feel like this is an Ovi friendly room.
I love Ovi.
I do too, man.
Oh, yeah, dude, I always told you he's one of my favorite players, always, for sure. But again, chasing that record is going to hinder the team. If you look at Washington's like if you just look at their stat, forget the points, the wins and stuff, the goals against, all that other stuff, percentages, that's the team that they are. And what are they? 10th, 11th, right? Next year, they got a lot of rebuilding to do, and it doesn't seem. Where are they with against the Cat? Like, because if they still got to pay him, right? He's going to hold them down until he breaks that record. So it'll be a couple more years. So, Spenny, I think you're dead nuts on.
Yeah, I wonder. Let me take a look at that real, just because it's front of mind.
Just because it's you.
Well, yeah, and I'm curious, right?
Well, it's money.
But he got it. He got his cup though. He's on the back end of it where he's kind of above the law. So what are you going to say? Man, he's 39, huh? Ovechkin, 1 year, $9.5 million left. Sorry, 2 years, $9.5 million per. He signed through 25-26, age 40.
Yep. So wait until he's 2 years. He'll have the record.
2 years, $19 million left.
42.
Yep. He is finishing out a 13-year, $124 million contract, of which he played every year of it up until this point.
That's great, dude. Look at the value in return.
Win-win.
You got a
for
cup.
everybody.
You got everything.
Got a cup.
It
He's
all
going to
worked
set
out.
records. He's going to beat Gretzky's record, stuff like that. FJ 1967. Rest in peace to the NBA playoffs being dragged out. Yeah, I mean that is the way that it works.
Yeah.
So that is the way that it goes. All right. Ransom. Rest in peace, Caleb Williams and JJ McCarthy. Hey, be careful. The Michigan fans will get mad at you. All right, KG, what do you got?
I know you like that one. But speaking of the NBA playoffs, I got to do this to one of my favorite players. RIP to LeBron James, team hopping after this season is over. Now, yesterday on E&E, they announced that Carrie Champion, she tweeted out that this would be LeBron's last game in purple and gold. Where the hell is he gonna go? His son's not coming out for another year, so that
he entered into the draft this year.
Really?
Yeah, he declared for the draft.
Where is he gonna go?
First round, Detroit Pistons.
Whoever
get LeBron.
Now, I think LeBron has a $50-ish million option.
Yeah.
That he has to either decline or exercise by June 29th.
But LeBron don't strike me as go to any team just because they draft your
But to
son.
play with his son,
the situation has to be kind of right too in order for him to go. I feel like.
But I feel like his son isn't like good enough to dictate where he go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
LeBron's gonna have to give a little if because he's gonna have to have somebody draft his son, right? Like that's the way that it's gonna go down. And him going there will be, and part of the contingency will be you have to draft my son. Now, and I know he's eligible. If he declines that option, he's a free agent. And I think he's eligible to sign up to a 3-year, $165-ish million contract, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, is he mailing home NBA championships at this point? Because wherever he goes, it's probably going to be a team that's struggling. They're going to draft his son, but what does that mean?
I mean, I think I don't think Bronny James is a first round talent.
He's not.
I think any team in the NBA could get him.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and it's going to be part of the package.
Not just going anywhere. That's my point. He's not going to Utah.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be a team that's struggling. Like, he's not going to get drafted high, so it could be one of the teams in the later first round or second round, more likely, because he's a second round pick. So I think he could go to a decent team that LeBron would go to.
I still ain't heard no names of teams though.
Well, that's going to be up to LeBron.
He could go anywhere. Like I said, it's not like he's a top 5 pick. It's not like he's a first round pick. So any team in the NBA.
No, I just mean in terms of LeBron. Like what's the
Warriors?
Team?
Yeah, but like the flip side of that coin though too is like in terms of his son playing a lot. It would have to be.
He wouldn't even make the roster if LeBron wasn't on the team.
Absolutely,
exactly.
And that's kind of the point. Like how much he has to value. How much does he want to play with his son, like, in a game?
Yeah.
Does he want his son to play, like, 30 minutes a game? Then you're going to have to go to...
Bleacher Report just tweeted, per Shams, Lakers are very open to helping LeBron fulfill his dream of playing with Bronny by potentially drafting him in June. LeBron is expected to play up to 2 more seasons.
Yeah, but he hates ownership.
Do they even have a draft pick?
I don't think they do.
They probably have second-round picks.
And he's beefing with ownership, so I don't understand. Like, it's just not... Him in a Lakers uniform, after that 2020 ring, it's just not working anymore. RIP to LeBron with the Lakers if he decides to stay.
Yeah, and I don't hate that because But it's incredible, man. Like,
Yeah.
you still can't deny what he's doing.
No, absolutely. I love LeBron, the player, and for him to be doing what he's doing at his age is absolutely remarkable. But if I get you want to play with your son, but you are pretty much going to mail in any hopes of a championship run left, because I don't see it. I don't.
The Lakers have a second-round pick next year. That's it.
Jesus.
They have,
And
the,
that-
they
and
have
that's
the Clippers.
Bronny.
They have the Clippers second-round pick.
And that's Bronny probably if he stays.
So
If
there
he
it
stays.
is. All right, for me, rest in peace to the Phoenix Suns franchise.
Damn.
It's over.
Matt Ishbia already?
You
Whole
know
franchise?
You know the story. You know when you get in bed with Kevin Durant, how many more examples do you need?
Yeah.
How many more you need?
How many times do we got to teach you this lesson,
Hey.
old man?
Thank you, Spenny. Like, how many times do you need to learn about it? It's just a matter of time before Durant publicly asked to be traded, and we'll wash, rinse, repeat, and we'll do it all again. And look, it's cute. And I know everybody was all kinds of fired up and be like, oh, he bought the Suns, and now he's blowing it out. And here we go. They're going to get Durant. Let's go. And they got D-Book. And now they're going to be in the mix and bring Bradley Beal in. Do you think that there's a team in the league that would take Bradley Beal at 2 years, $50+ million right now?
Nah.
There's not a team in the league that would take that. It's over.
Yeah.
And it never really started, did it? They got swept out of the playoffs, man.
It's a conversation to be had at this point with KD's legacy, and I'm also a KD fan, but you just look at like how these last couple situations have gone, and then he's got bounced in the first round each time. His last closest thing was Brooklyn, but we all know how that ended, and that was a mess that he started. So, I mean, it's a conversation to be had. I don't think it's all been his fault, but it's fair to ask that question now.
But he hasn't saved them either.
He hasn't.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and he is the number one still, and I still consider him to be a number one at this point, but how much longer is that going to last?
Right, absolutely. So, they have their own pick this year, number 22. Their 25 pick goes to Brooklyn. Their 26 pick has an entire paragraph that's that long on conditions. So the 27 first-round pick goes to Brooklyn. The 28 first-round pick has a paragraph that long of conditions. The 29 first-round pick goes to Brooklyn. And the 30 pick has a paragraph this long of conditions.
Jesus.
It's a rat. They
not,
pushed all their chips in, and they busted
they went
out.
all in. Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it. It's over. Planet Fitness, though, their deal is never over. $1 down, $10 a month for access to your home club. Want to be a baller, a shot caller? $1 down, $24.99 a month will get you the black card. Access to over 2,500 Planet Fitnesses in the world. Tons of cardio equipment. I was in there knocking out 6 miles today. Didn't matter because there's an army of treadmills. Tons of weights. Spenny, what are we on tonight?
Shoulders.
Shoulder day. Spenny can do that. Tons of weights. Press for time, 30-minute circuit. It's all there for you. It's the best gym in the gym game, and it's the most affordable gym. What are we talking about here? Go to planetfitness.com, join today, or pull in the parking lot. It's Planet Fitness, Mr. Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
Visit Dispo Dispensary today for deals too good to miss. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. Try the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo-today. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
All right, second hour, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, and D-Mac, and KG, and Spencer Raxter, and all of you in the Woodward Sports chat. Get your thoughts out there as well. Woodward Sports chat, Paul Thomas, it's criminal what Ishbia gave up for KD. It should be considered unlawful. I just gave you guys a breakdown. The franchise is sunk. Nobody dissented, though. Right? Remember that, KG?
Yeah.
Everybody was all, yeah, hurrah!
I mean, it looked great on paper.
Hey, shout out to Michigan State. Michigan State has received a transfer commitment from former Arizona State cornerback Ed Woods. Woods chose the Spartans over Alabama. He's the number 4 cornerback in the portal.
Okay.
Shout out Jonathan Smith, that Mormon power, getting it done, baby.
You like it, Spenny?
I love it.
Yeah.
You teach him how to soak or what?
Yeah, we might teach him how to soak.
Yeah, soak energy.
It's a great pickup, man. It's like what Michigan basketball is doing right now. Like, we needed to rebuild our entire roster through the portal, and that's what Jonathan Smith is doing. So, love to see the guy.
Yeah, you do it with just that layer, but like the top of that layer below.
He got a running back from UMass that rushed for like 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns last year.
Man, you know what? All these dudes from UMass, how come they win one game every year?
Yeah. So I don't know. I love what Coach Smith is doing, though. He's getting some great players. We'll see how it works out on the field. Aiden Childs looked great in the spring game. So did Nick Marsh. That connection's going to be pretty deadly. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And back to the Suns. Devin Booker, bring him home.
Shad 216. When LeBron team hops, at least he gets you a chip. All KD does is F up the cap and think he's doing something spectacular. Oh, Shad, and your future draft capital forever.
Yeah.
Like for the rest of time.
Yeah.
So there's that out there as well.
Brooklyn's still recovering a little bit.
Danny G, Drake is never going to recover from this. I got to check this out in the car today.
Man, I'm just
Even
glad.
I got to check this out. This is, right on. I love Kendrick
I told
Lamar,
you it was
though.
Avengers level stuff going on in hip hop.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a Drake. I don't even know a Drake telephone or something like that, right? That's one.
Drake,
telephone.
Drake puts out good songs, man.
Drake puts out hits for sure. But
But why is he? Why are you going at Kendrick Lamar, man? I even know that's an OG, bro.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
They have a long storied beef. They've been throwing subliminals at each other for at least 12 years.
Yeah, but I got to think Kendrick Lamar and Drake. That's not going to end well for Drake.
No.
Yeah, but this is
is this money? Is this wrestling? Is this?
No,
like
this is
good
real.
business?
This is real hate.
Yeah.
Well, there's real hate between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, but they're going to do a hell of business
man,
too.
yeah,
So I
that's
mean,
true.
I don't know in the rap. I guess
It's not
I
the
know
same in
the
the rap
answer
game.
because in the rap game, I usually see it on the news report that it is serious. But does this have it? They're just going to keep it here and make millions off it,
it's
right?
not going to go to the streets. I don't. Not
No.
even close.
Drake definitely doesn't want it to go to the streets.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm
Kendrick
saying.
is from Compton.
To be fair,
That's what I'm saying.
Shout out Rosecrans, man.
Speaking of
Shout
that,
out.
Mike O says, Neal, word of advice, don't sport the salmon-colored swoosh shirt in the hood. KG,
It's not salmon.
This
is fuchsia.
That's fuchsia. Yeah.
My jacket I wore during the tournament was salmon. This is fuchsia.
And if you got the pass, you can wear whatever.
KG, tell these
Come on.
people.
Yeah, the color thing really don't matter in Detroit anyway, and it barely matters out west anymore anyway, really like that. So
Plus, I'm good in any hood.
you are. You don't need clearance from anybody.
That's what I'm saying, KG.
Yeah. You ain't got to check in. Who last person you had to check in with?
I couldn't even tell you. I don't remember,
Not
man.
even Trick.
No, like I'm certainly good in the act. Like, all the way good. You know, I may have to talk to friends of friends, like if I go up to Saginaw or Flint or something like that. But everybody's like that, you know?
You got to hit up Draymond. You going to Saginaw?
Yeah. You know, I got to bump him a text or whatever, you know, just make sure I got the all. But it's like I'm driving up there and doing that text, you know, like I'm already on the way. We know it's going to be good. You just have to do the courteous thing.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm good in the streets, man. 100%.
People are saying that Kendrick took away Drake's N-word pass.
Oh.
In the diss.
Oh, I can't wait to hear
I do have to hear this.
It says nobody does 6-minute diss tracks anymore.
Yeah, I guess, and I guess it's 6 minutes of just straight bar. Like, he doesn't stop. So
I'm excited.
I'm really excited too.
I am too. Colbzilla, Drake is slightly overrated. And real quick, before we cut to the break, Drake's career is following that. That's the career arc that you want, though, when you get into this thing.
He's the Taylor Swift of rap.
Yeah. Bingo. That's exactly
He's
it.
a pop star.
Like you become such a
he transcends hip hop.
Yes.
That's it. And there's no other way it can go for Drake right now.
Yeah.
You're going to you're so successful that you're going to become hated.
Yeah.
It's just the way that it's going to work.
Yep.
And you know what you do?
You
open up your bank app and you look at all them commas and you say, this went the way I wanted it.
He went at Rick Ross. Did you see him and Rick Ross going back and forth?
That was hilarious too. Shout out Rose, man.
He went at Rick Ross, and Rick Ross threw some tracks back at him, and they were actually pretty good. But Rick Ross was clowning him. He's calling him BBL Drizzy.
Yeah,
because
he got his abs done.
I guess he got like that. Drake got the ab implants. Is what Rick Ross is saying, and he's saying he got a nose job, and he kept calling him white boy and all. He's like, what, "Come on, white boy." Dude,
right.
Rick Ross is the funniest rapper.
When Ross gets on those rants, dude, there's nothing better.
He's the funniest person in the rap.
When he called out all the crypto people, dude, I still will go back and watch that.
Oh yeah. Where's the
crypto gurus, picture takers? Where the money at?
Where's that?
No, Rick Ross said Drake wears Dockers with no underwear.
Yes.
That's how you know.
Oh come on, now that's too far. You know I love. Now you know I'm good. I'm good in the 305 too. You guys know I go there every weekend. You know Ross and I are cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask him about. Well, next time I see him when we're hanging out in Biscayne, I'm gonna like, look, Rose. The Dockers thing, that was a little extra. And he'll be, and you know what? I bet, like, if we're off camera and we're away from the media, he'll be like,
give you the real.
Neal, you're right.
Yeah.
And then that'll be it.
Oh man.
All right, tell him about Swiss.
Yeah, you know where to go. Insurance. You need it today. Swiss Insurance Group. That's the one to pick. Don't get caught up today by your current providers. Overcharging, doing whatever. Get with Swiss today for an honest lead and price you out to make sure that your insurance deal is what you need. We all pay insurance, whether it's health insurance, whether it's life insurance, whatever it is. Let my buddy Mark at Swiss Insurance, 313-530-1698. Check it out or go to SwissINS.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Neal Ruhl here for Feiger Law. Listen, everybody, after an accident, you need to hire a lawyer more than any other time in your life. So make Feiger Law your first call. 1-800-A-WINNER. That's 1-800-A-WINNER. Their team of trial lawyers will get you the money that you deserve, everybody. Feiger Law. All we do is win. All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl. Spencer Raxter, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, of course, and we have KG as well. Good to see, quote, Dr. Clappin' Cheeks checking into the chat.
Always good to see.
Says, no, I don't do nose jobs. I guess people were asking Dr. Clappin' Cheeks if he does nose jobs.
That's at the other end of the anatomy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. But that is it. All right, I do want to get back into the Lions discussion because we did the Penei Sewell stuff, and make sure you subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. You can rewind, fast forward, all of that stuff. But it's kind of the sidebars of the Penei Sewell discussion, D-Mac. And Spenny had a great question about the division and things like that, but I want to really focus in on this. D-Mac, do we realize / are the Lions in that spot? It's now. It's
Penei
now.
Sewell just told you. They're all telling you. The Sheila Ford Hamp came out. The owner came out and said it's Super Bowl or bust now.
Yeah.
We're locked in. We've always said we're in the
Do
middle.
we realize that?
I think at moments when we sit back and when we really think about it and look how the team's put together, especially with the going into the draft about we don't need a position of need. It was, right? You look at the way the draft played out and the guys that were drafted, it was more of adding players that will specifically help your team. So I get caught up. I'm just going to use myself as an example. If I listen, right, when the interviews of Amon-Ra St. Brown re-signing, of Penei Sewell, of Dan Campbell, of Brad, if I listen, yes, they tell me all the time, right? Everyone in their organization. So we better get on board. But I don't think that we realize it as much as they do, if that makes sense to answer your question.
It's still kind of hard to believe just after 3 seasons that they are in a Super Bowl or bust scenario. But
that's the NFL.
We haven't seen that.
I know.
We haven't been here, but we saw every other.
Is that why we're strong? Because I feel like
but we've seen every other team. So the fact that you're right.
Yeah.
It's whether believing that we are, but we are right in that every other team that we talk about goes through this 3-year window that it can flip.
D-Mac, I see it in your face. Like you had that epiphany. It also didn't cost you $50 at Tiffany's. Oh. But like you're having that moment too where I was thinking about it earlier. Like this is where we are, right? It is Super Bowl or bust. And like you're right at times. I think at times is the answer because there's a moment like when I hear Penei Sewell talk and say that I want the big boy and I want it now. I'm like, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, you forget about that for a second and you're like, man, I hope we just get to the playoff. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like you're fighting that battle
you go
internally.
Back to that SOL mentality.
Yeah, like
almost.
you just your default mode.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to me, man.
It's a lot of years of undoing the Lions are gonna have to do. But I mean, when you look at it, they've done everything to get themselves here, and they got to the NFC Championship game last year for crying out loud, and was a half away from the Super Bowl on a team that a lot of people thought they overachieved. So this is our new reality now. We got to start owning that. But the downside to that is if they go out there and they don't make the Super Bowl, it's going to be a lot of disappointment. Like I hope they realize how much pressure they are really under.
But I think they do because they're the ones perpetrating it. They're dragging us along in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the feeling I
welcome
get.
to the 90s, 2000 Red Wings.
Yeah.
There you go.
They up there with the big boys now.
That's it.
That's where we
want
want to be.
The smoke? Let's take the smoke. That's what they're telling them. We want all the smoke. We know who we got to beat. We know we did it to ourselves last year. We came up short. We addressed it. Spenny, you made the greatest point of the draft when you said Brad Holmes has just told you that Kendall Vildor will not be in the position to make a play that can cost you, the NFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not say that?
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Did he not address that?
That's what he did. He brought in 4 cornerbacks in the offseason.
Yep. You technically got 5 starting caliber corners in your cornerback room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we haven't even talked about the 4th rounder, the Swiss Army knife, and the fact of how Brad Holmes comes out and just gushes over this guy that comes in to camp and they try him out at 4 different positions. I said to Spenny on the way in, well, he just he added a natural Malcolm Rodriguez.
Yeah.
What did we see Malcolm do? So what are they adding? Swiss Army knife that can help. Right, says best special teams player in the draft. You add that to Jalen Reeves-Maben, who was the special teams player of the year last year and stuff like that. Let alone can play offense, can play defense and stuff like this. Your GM gushing. Same, right? Like, that's all it is. They're putting it together the way they want, whether we agree or not, so we better just buckle up and get on board and get used to that. And you know what? If you're afraid of failure, then you shouldn't be a fan. It's smart, because everybody fails. 31 teams fail.
That's true.
Every year. But just to be in that conversation, I think that we got to take this summer as we get ready and change our mindsets.
We need to work on ourselves.
We need to work on ourselves. That because they're you nailed it, Neal. They're dragging us.
They are.
Yep.
So let's go.
'Cause they're dragging
Isn't
me.
this everything we ever wanted?
Yeah.
Yes.
They are the
So let's go.
They're dragging me, D-Mac, because I guess right now, and Spenny, maybe we can put this on the poll. Like right here, honestly, do you expect the Lions to win the Super Bowl next year?
Yes.
I want to know where the people are at with it. Because it's not that I'm not comfortable with saying I expect them to win the Super Bowl. And that's a me problem. It's not a Lions problem. It's not a player's problem. It's got nothing to do with the Lions.
I feel you.
It's got everything to do with me because I'm going to sit here and be honest about it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of similar. Now, I expect them to get to the Super Bowl, but win it, that's just me, though. Like, I get it. But that's not to say I don't believe in the team and the direction and everything they've done up until this point. I just realize how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. Like, not Brad Holmes. Dan Campbell told you last year. A lot of people thought he was having defeatist mentality, but it is hard to get back to that spot.
Yeah, and the bottom line, and look, like if we're being honest with ourselves, and this is part of the process I talk through on this. Now I know this will get clipped and everyone will murder me on social media for it, but I don't care because I'm not here putting on a show for you guys. I'm just telling you how I feel.
Yeah.
Like I'm just sitting here, we're talking, man. Like I talk this way with my friends and everybody. Because if we're being real about it, the Lions did catch a break in the playoffs, right? With Tampa Bay winning.
Yeah.
It kept them out of a road game at Dallas, which, Green Bay obviously beat Dallas, but all those games are in a vacuum, everybody.
That's
so
true.
Is it easier to win at home against Tampa or on the road at Dallas? We know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Some things broke right last year. Will they break right again?
You got to be lucky, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's part of it. That's absolutely part. You show me a champion, I'll show you somewhere where they got lucky along the road. That's just the way that it's been. And if you look at it, too, from the perspective of the Eagles just fell off a cliff for no reason, everybody's loving up on their draft and what they've done, and they've locked up their receivers long-term, and they're in there.
Yeah.
I don't expect the Eagles to be as bad again. Remember, they were trucking everybody.
They really were.
And then it was over.
Matt Patricia.
Yeah, well,
it's the Matt Patricia effect.
But these are the things, like these are the internal battles that I fight, as a Lions fan, to say, man, Neal, I expect the Lions to win the Super Bowl. I'm just not mentally there yet. And that's a me problem, everybody.
Yeah.
That's not a Lions problem. I'm just being honest with you. I'm being vulnerable.
I don't think that's a bad thought to have. And I'm sure there's a lot of fans, they may not admit it, a lot of fans feel the same way.
You don't have to get
because we haven't
there yet.
seen it. We just haven't seen it before. So obviously it's going to be new to a lot of us. We've never seen this with this team. Getting that close and having legit success. Like, we've seen flashes in the pan. We've seen plenty of that. But this team is actually sustainable for year on year on year success, and we've never seen that.
Yeah, absolutely. Honolulu BS says, Neal, is that a Falcons hat? It is, but it's a Birmingham Groves Falcons hat. The JV baseball team in action against Seaholm today, a doubleheader. The official team of Woodward Sports, the official sports team of Woodward Sports. And we got Tae, our guys on the mound today for the JV white team. We need a dub. We got to get it done.
Gonna throw some heat.
We'll recap it tomorrow. Crazy clown, you're too negative, Neal. See, and he's got the laughing emoji.
That's not being negative.
It's not. I'm talking through it. Like I'm having a human experience right now.
Yeah.
I'm talking through this with everybody.
It's the end of April. You're not supposed to be here right yet.
Yeah.
Well, get yourself in the next few months, and when you see it, and when training camp starts and stuff like this, we're preparing ourselves because, you hear the expectations. My biggest thing is you got Sheila coming out saying it.
Yeah.
So that's a mandate.
We kind of glossed over that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I feel like in retrospect,
But
we
that's
really
a
glossed
mandate
over that.
because you
Ownership
know
saying
that
that
they
is big.
operate all together. Like she's is a part of those meetings and listening and stuff like this. So this is strictly they're all on the same page.
Yeah. Whenever your
I don't
ownership
know,
come out
man.
and say it's Super Bowl or bust, that's a big deal.
Owner.
Like, that's
Can you
a big
imagine if
deal.
Jerry Jones said that?
Well, he says that every year.
I know. And then they become the Toronto Maple Leafs of the NFL.
Damn right.
Happy Toronto Elimination Day to those that celebrate tonight. We'll all come together as a nation and get our laughs in and see them ride out. All right. I think we stumbled onto something, so I want to keep this rolling because I want to bring Spenny into the discussion.
Yeah.
We'll see if Spenny's going to be honest about it. We'll see. We'll see. I'll be honest about it. Woodward Sports has a new morning show. That's right. Wake Up Woodward every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Flannel Sam and those pasty arms are out. Kool-Aid Broder, JB Smooth, the pillar of Woodward Sports, of course, KG as well. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Detroit's #1 sports network. Yes, Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
What's good, man? How you doing? What you got for me today? Let's have a look, man. I see the one I want right there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Welcome to the winner's circle, Blake.
Hey.
Figer Law. All we do is win.
All we do is win. The new glorious ice water bubble hash pre-roll now with diamonds, constantly pushing to create the best Canada experience. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flower with only the highest terps, making the best even better. Glorious Cannabis. Check us out at your local retailer at gloriouscanna2ns.com.
All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, KG here in the house as well. Shout out Marvin and Willie. They're taking in the show here in studio. I think we stumbled onto something. I have to do a better job of getting comfortable because ownership's comfortable. Panay Sewell's more than comfortable. The expectation in that room is Super Bowl. Make no mistake about it. I feel like we glossed over that too. When Sheila Ford Hemp came out there and said it, we kind of like, I don't know.
And the Fords have never said anything.
Ever.
Ever.
So again, I need to get more comfortable with it because I'm being fully honest with you guys right now. I'm not jiving with the Lions as this. I expect the Super Bowl. And you know what? What the poll right now, we have the question out there. Do you expect the Lions to win the Super Bowl next season? 74% of the people say yes. And I think some people are not being honest.
Yeah, technically, a Ford didn't make it. A Hampton made the statement. Right?
Yeah, well, true.
Yeah, I'm
she
just
dropped
saying.
The Ford. She dropped the
to
Ford.
the fact I saw somebody say that they popped when they saw the positional villain sweatshirt. That shit, like she's all. Do you not understand? And that's why this all worked. They're all in this together. They created this together. They started this together. She's the one that had their backs at 1-6 to get here. So that's sort of the mentality. And I do agree that. You got to wait to see how it plays out, but don't tell me that you don't expect to be in the same position watching the NFC Championship against San Francisco or Philly or whoever else and winning that game and getting to the finals and stuff like this. And what you're hearing about and the way that they're setting it up with all their They're main players. They're Hall of Fame guys. That's the way that they're talking.
Yep.
So that's the expectations. And I don't think they're far off because it's building and that's what they want. And the first persons that'll be ultra disappointed if they don't get there is them.
Yeah. The
right?
team improved as well.
Yes.
With
And
the
it will
draft and free
constantly, this
agency, the
isn't
team
the
has
finished
improved.
product either.
Woodward Sports chat thread. You guys got a lot of good thoughts in here, too. Stephen Baffy, and this is on point. And I don't think we realize this. The Lions have not lost back-to-back games in over a season.
Damn.
That's a championship team. I expect them to compete for a Super Bowl. If they don't make it, then they don't. But, Stephen, but that's where I'm putting that stuff aside. Either you expect them to win or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no – and, again, I'm guilty of it. Like, I'm the one saying it, but I'm also guilty of it, if that makes any sense. Where else was it? Cobzilla, I expect another NFC championship game. Just a fan. Every playoff game being won or done makes it hard for any team to get to or win the Super Bowl. And that's it, too.
Yeah.
Like, you
Every
are
year is different.
You are a product of, the setup and everything like that. Like, when you look at it through the Chiefs' eyes, they had to go on the road and win some games. They did because they were seasoned. In Baltimore, they did everything you could do in a regular season. They had the game at home, and they had the big bad wolf coming into town. They couldn't deal with him. He blew their house down.
Look at health. You can't say that Greenway going out for the linebacker in the Super Bowl did not affect San Francisco and stuff like that. So we don't know what we're going to have getting there and stuff like this. But with what we're building, I don't think it's – if you have expectations for Super Bowl like this team does, like they're preaching, okay. If you're not there yet, you don't have to be. Enjoy the weather. There's baseball season. Almago's back. Worry about that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I fell off on the Almago watch. We'll update that one tomorrow.
There's different things, but it's just putting it in so that when football season does come around, that your mindset is, hey, we have expectations of this team. Big expectations.
It almost seems too good to be true because, success isn't linear, or that's what they tell us. But if you look at the Lions, since the new regime took over, 3-13-1 the first season.
They've been as linear as you can be.
Exactly. 1-6, and then turned it around into 9-8. What 12-5 last year? And a division win, 2 playoff wins, which we've never seen, and an NFC championship appearance, which you were a half away from getting to a Super Bowl. So, I mean, it almost is it's like a dream almost. I hate to say that, but I've been a Lions fan for so long, it does feel like a dream. It's almost hard to grasp that they're this good, this fast.
Brad is in my lane here. Lions are plus 1,300 to win the Super Bowl. Expecting them to win the Super Bowl means you're not good at math, which, it's true.
Get it in.
But see, getting back to it, though, I was also the same one at the NFC when we did the lead up to the NFC Championship game and doing the Lions pregame show. I was also the same one that said, I don't fear San Francisco.
Yeah.
And that was a big moment for me because normally I would have been programmed to be afraid of San Francisco. But I didn't fear them. And I still don't fear them. And I guess if we're talking through this right now, then what's your holdup, Neal? I don't know what the holdup is.
Who do you fear?
Who do you fear? Exactly.
Kansas City.
I fear myself, I guess. Then, right? That's the last hurdle. But what's always the last hurdle that you have to overcome?
Yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. You're always. That's the only hurdle.
You're always your biggest hurdle.
That's the first and last.
Is that true, D-Mac?
So true.
And
Self-awareness.
Yeah.
Number one.
And this is why we dog the SOL fans now. Because it's you need to adapt with the times. If they're showing you different, you need to adapt your mindsets.
100%. I've led the charge on that, man, because the math is there. But again, going back to it, where D-Mac, and you've talked about this too, man, the people do have a lot of good thoughts in there. Pete Smith, you can do everything right except one play and you lose. That's what's so disheartening. And Pete, thank you for bringing that up because it's a perfect segue to where I was going with the man sitting to my left. The Red Wings and their come up was the exact opposite of linear. There was nothing linear about it. You guys rose up, despair, the ultimate despair, looked like you got past it, that despair was even more despairing to the point, and I told you this before, where I came clean with you, when we started working together. I was like, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think you guys were going to do it.
Yeah, no. I mean, and most people didn't. And that's the difference, right? Where I said, if I'm going to compare this Lions, where they got the full support, mostly of all the fans, right, moving forward, and they believe they're not in the disbelief yet. Until they lose, like you said, Kenny, what happens if they make the playoffs and they lose and they come up shorter? Well, there's the disappointment. Welcome to being a Detroit Red Wing in the early 90s. But you got to persevere. And the one thing is that they're going to keep going and going and going and going. They're not going to stop.
Yeah.
Right? They've proven how they handle adversity. They put their heads down and they work and they fight through it and they figure out and they hold each other accountable and they love each other and they do it together. So
this team's built to overcome adversity, aren't they?
Yeah.
Dude, they've seen it. We've seen it, the way that they fight for each other. This team is built for the man next to them than like we were. That's the similarities that I see that throughout.
Let's do this. Let's take the break because I have a spin-off question that this discussion has pointed me to. And it's quickly becoming kind of a cut the ish Tuesday right here.
Okay.
Because we're going to bottom line some things when we come back. Bottom line, if you want a good haircut, ...
Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. So Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. On Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile, check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. LesStanford.com, Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, KG, Spencer, Raxter, all of you, Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there. And we just kind of stumbled onto this discussion, I guess.
It's Woodward therapy right now.
It's Woodward therapy. But that leads me to this, okay, because we asked a question. Bottom line, do you expect the Lions to win the Super Bowl? I.e., if you had to bet your money on it.
Put the house on it.
You're betting on the Lions to win the Super Bowl. Now you get a 13-1 reward, which is pretty nice. 77% of you said yes. So, okay, let's drill down on that then. So then this roster's good enough to win a Super Bowl now then, right?
It would appear that way.
Why? What changed? And Spenny, that's where I'll come to you. What was the biggest change in the roster that says, yes, now I expect them to win the Super Bowl?
The depth at cornerback and adding top-tier interior defensive lineman, DJ Reader.
Yeah. I think that's number one.
Yep.
Number one signing right there.
And I'm not like trolling. I'm not hunting or anything like that. We're having we're talking.
Yeah, that's what it is. Their weakest position, they made one of their deepest in cornerback room, and they added a guy in DJ Reader that's going to help their defense get better.
Yeah,
I think they turned this defense into a top 15 defense in the NFL.
Yeah,
the competition, in-house competition every day. That's what I'm looking to see. All these guys from whoever you sign to whatever these new draft, hungry.
Yeah.
And all want, so gonna figure out, it doesn't matter who it is. And I don't think Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, I think they got, I think it's this guy and that guy. But the competition, they're gonna push each other, especially where was your weakest. where it's always been your weakest position on this team. Cornerback. It's always been 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
Can't stop at 3rd and friggin' 27.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Stuff
Star
like that.
receivers,
So
200
they've
yards.
addressed it. But I think that DJ Reader is immaculately huge. And then the pieces that they've added, because they didn't need that big guy. Now, if I was going to say what are they missing, probably could use a receiver, like the go-to guy, because I think that what you were alluding to when you said before the break about what they're missing is that who's going to step up. And is it Maurice Alexander who's now got number 1?
No, I think it's DPJ.
Okay.
They seem to believe
Right,
in him.
is it deep? But somebody's got to step up in that security role, and we don't know who that is.
And I'm not saying he can't, but I'm saying that's aggressive.
Is it? He almost had 1,000 yards.
I know, but like that role though, you know what I'm saying?
I get it, but I feel like that's a more like better role for him than actually being a number 1 or a number 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think if he can own the number 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and be that Josh Reynolds guy. But again, that to me, Neal, that's a question mark.
Yeah, I'm doing a heat check right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if 3 or 4 of us are saying I expect them to win the Super Bowl, I would bet my family's grocery money on them winning the Super Bowl, then you like the roster, obviously.
Yeah.
The roster is good. So we're set to ride.
And to build on Spenny's point, Brad Holmes saw what we all saw. Like this isn't a situation where, okay, we lost in the NFC Championship game and he didn't add the right pieces to try to fix that. He saw exactly what everybody else saw. Your pass rush is non-existent and your cornerback room is getting torched every single week. And he did a complete overhaul on defense this year. New coaches, new players. This defense almost looks like a totally different defense from the last year. So he knows where his weaknesses are, and he strengthened that to a degree. I don't know how good they are yet, but on paper it seems like he strengthened it to a very nice degree. So you would assume they're a Super Bowl team now.
He took Kansas City's playbook, got his Chris Jones, his OJ drafted guys. What did Kansas City? It was always the secondary until they drafted guys. Got the Sneeds and got the McDuffies and stuff. That's what he's sort of expecting. But he realized, too, exactly what everybody's saying, that we all saw, you need that hoss up the middle, right? So now you have not 1, but 2. Then you got the defensive. So pressure's there. And do we have some, right? To me, it's Kansas City's defense. It's how they built, how Kansas City built their defense, which that's what we just did. So, I mean, why not copy off the Super Bowl champions?
Because, Spenny, I think that we've glossed over the DJ Reader thing. Because I got a feeling if I said, Spenny, plant your flag on the player on this roster, I feel like you would plant your flag on DJ Reader.
Oh, yeah.
That's the addition. That's the one that set it off, Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, for sure. He showed us before. He's been that guy before in defenses. He's helped other guys get better in defenses. Like Trey Hendrickson helped him get 17.5 sacks last year. Like he's a guy that's done it before in this league. So yeah, that's who I would plant on.
Yeah.
What do you plant your flag on with this roster?
The cornerback room. Because that was the area that got exposed the most in the playoffs. It was our cornerback room. And I understand we undertook injuries and all that, but he made sure he accounted for, okay, if somebody goes down, we got backups. Like, we haven't had a cornerback room with this much depth, and I can't even remember a time where we had this. Like I said, we had 5 starting caliber cornerbacks waiting in the wings. So I would put it on the cornerback room.
Woodward Sports chat thread. We need receiver depth. If Amon-Ra St. Brown goes down, we are cooked. And look, like the 49ers can say if Brock Purdy goes down, they're cooked. You know how I know? They were in the playoff game at Philadelphia and had their running back at quarterback. And guess what? They were cooked. I mean, duh. We can say that about every team has players that they can say that. D-Mac, what do you plant your flag on with this roster?
No, exactly. Like if the addition of DJ Reader is where it starts. He's your Chris Jones. And we saw what Chris Jones has done literally to win Super Bowls for Kansas City. And it's pressure. KG said it. Now you have more talent in case you can't get there as quick. But I think that with the addition of DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil up front, Hutchinson, James Houston.
It makes everything better.
What are we going to get out of Davenport? It's going to add. So it's like say it takes 2 seconds. Going to be 1.7 seconds. With the speed and the competition on the back end, maybe that like 0.2 seconds of just coverage and stuff like this of guys who want a ball. To me, the biggest thing is competition. Hey, you know who else is there? Manuel Mosley. You think he wants to come back and try to do it with veterans? So you got a veteran guy in there with these young guys too. You got to sort of like training camp's going to be so awesome because these guys are going to be like
fighting to the death.
Yes.
Like, yes.
And then that hunger, right? That hunger when they're playing against the O and stuff, they're going to bring the best out of each other. How do I know? Because I never got to touch a puck in practice. So mad during the games because you had to play against all the Hall of Famers. But it was good.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what I plant my flag on, and certainly the additions, like the DJ Readers and the cornerbacks, obviously you need that. That's kind of an arms race that all these teams are doing. That we've seen San Francisco do this. We've seen the Chiefs do this. We see the teams around us. But what I'm planting my flag on, D-Mac, is just kind of reinforcing the dudes that are here. I expect another step up for Aiden Hutchinson. I expect another step up for Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
For real.
If that's even possible.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. I expect another step up for him because these guys are still young in the league, man.
That's true.
Like, you don't know the tricks. Like, Penei Sewell doesn't even know all the tricks of the trade yet. Hutchinson doesn't know all the tricks of the trade yet.
Yeah.
Because you can't learn them until you go through it all for years.
That's what makes this so crazy because it's so hard to win with this young of a team in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. Like, for me, that is the biggest thing. Like, this is on brand, right? Like, you sprinkle in this, like DJ Reader was the splash, and then they added some pieces in the cornerback, and then they added more pieces. I mean, like, to say, so you took a cornerback in the first round and the second round, to say that you expect them to come in and be locked down from minute one all the way through a Super Bowl is, it's more idealistic than realistic to me.
Yeah.
They're going to have to figure things out as they go too. I think that at the end of the day, if they do win the Super Bowl, it will be because Aiden Hutchinson took a step. And yes, Penei Sewell took a step. Amon-Ra St. Brown took a step. Jared Goff takes another step up.
Yeah.
Because that's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
It's the most important position in sports.
Of course, and he's been to the dance before.
And
so.
he's been through it all before. That's where I am with it. Laporta will take another. There's more to get. There's more to squeeze out of Laporta.
Yep.
Believe it or not.
No, it's true.
That's what excites me the most about all this.
They haven't scratched the surface yet.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy, man.
And no one talks about that. I always hear everybody just say this edition, that edition, that edition. Like, no one talks about there's going to be a step up for these guys. There just is. Because you guys know how this works, man. All these guys that have been added, they're not all going to finish the season. It's just life in the NFL. There's attrition that every team goes through.
For sure.
That's happening.
And you haven't even brought up Laporta or JMO or Gibbs or whatever else. Those are the same guys too. They're going to get better.
I expect a big jump for JMO as well. And I expect a big jump in his targets and his touches and all that.
Mm-hmm.
All of it, man.
Yep. And everybody got the one goal in mind to get to the Super Bowl. Everybody got that taste in their mouth from last year.
So this is it, man. Like, the roster's here. We got to get comfortable with it as fans.
Yeah.
To expect that. And look, guys, like, there was, and last year we all went through this. I was the champion of it. Like, I don't care, win the division, get a home playoff game, get that taken care of. It's not that way this year. Like, every regular season game matters more than it ever has.
Yeah.
Because you got to get that home field.
And this shit ain't cute no more.
Well, okay, so you expect that or whatever else, but the bottom line is just about getting in the dance, right? So to me, it's not about the home field. It's about winning games, and if you have to go on the road and you make it harder than yourself because of the division you're in, I'm not selling it on the North, right? I know it's an easier path, but the fact is, I sometimes, you got to do it the way that Kansas City does. So the bottom line is that if you can go on the road and win, which I think this team, and the way that it's built and the way that they've shown in the past can do, you don't want that. But I'm not gonna. They don't win the division or whatever, even though I expect them to, as long as they're a playoff team and they got a shot in. There'd be, which leads to higher disappointment.
Right, which I'm not. I'm not in the business of playing multiple playoff games on the road.
Well, Kansas City did.
That's true, but
Baltimore did. when they won the Super Bowl?
Right. I'm saying, though, like.
I know you don't want to. It's not luxury, but goddamn.
Those are guys that have been through the battles and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, but I'm not taking what you're going to. I don't need the North Championship to win a Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. That's not my bottom line. Yes, it would add to the disappointment if they don't get it, but you can't tell me if they, because of injuries or something that happens, that they make the playoffs and win the Super Bowl but don't win the division and play at home. It'll be disappointing. I'm not saying it won't, but it's not the end-all, be-all.
It's not. No.
All right.
That's just my point.
I mean, that felt good.
You did good.
That
Get
felt
off
good.
your chest, man.
You feel better? More confident?
I do. It's going to take a minute. Like,
You'll get there.
It's April, though, like you said.
Do you not feel, and we've talked about this in the past, the way the NFL trade deadline is, where it's more active these days, that if we are one person away, that Brad Holmes ain't going to go out and get that one person?
Yes, we are in that space. And just while we were talking, I just took a look real quick. Lions do have $26 million in cap space right now.
Is that
so
good?
They're ninth.
Is that good?
Ninth in the league.
So that's good, right?
And they
Pretty
still
good.
can add to this team.
Oh,
Post
okay.
June 1st.
So they-
June 1st is coming.
Oh, awesome. You know what they could do with some of that money? They could visit Dispo Dispensary today. The deal's too good to
Get
miss.
aggressive with it.
Meet a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. They could get the CBD roll on. Absolutely. Try the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Neal Ruhl here for Planet Fitness. Everybody, we're live at the Planet Fitness Studios. As you can see right there, the official gym of Big D Energy, literally and figuratively. Why do I say that? Because I go there every day. Because Spencer goes there every day. We're about the Planet Fitness life. They are the best gym in the gym game. I've been a member for 3 years. I'll never be a member at another gym. Hard stop. Planet Fitness has everything I need. Go to planetfitness.com, join there, $1 down, $10 a month. Talk about inflation. It's still the same at Planet Fitness. You want to be a baller, a shot caller, $24.99 a month, the black card, still $1 down. That's it. That's all. Access to over 2,500 Planet Fitnesses around the world. Everything you need to do is right there, everybody. Trust me. The best value in the gym game. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. All right, final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. People were asking, the Javi Baez update, he's hitting 193. I keep getting told he's back.
He might be.
And I keep checking, and he's
back.
always hitting under 200.
But
so,
Neal, the way he runs the base
I
pass,
know, yeah.
Come on now. The defensive plays he makes.
And the Tigers, look.
I'm going to go put the eyeballs on him this afternoon.
You're going out?
I'm going down.
You're going to the game?
Hey.
All right.
I'm going to go down. I got some stuff, Wings season ticket holder event tonight later on. But I'm going to slide in there, and I'm going to give a update tomorrow on the eyeball El Mago test.
Hey,
And we have a winner to announce.
All we do, as a matter of fact.
Hey,
Man,
winner.
Spenny's on top of everything.
I do what I can.
I know,
Spenny's the
man.
man.
I love
We
it.
know
I'm thankful
Not
for that.
just the beers and the glizzy challenges.
Absolutely.
There's a man behind that.
Woodward Sports, we were giving away on our social media one of the world record draft commemorative T-shirts. And the winner is Kyle Short, at Kyle_Short_. Ooh, a little aggressive with the second underscore there.
Double underscore?
Right.
3 underscores.
Triple underscore.
Kyle
Damn.
underscore
I missed
short
that one
underscore.
there. I didn't have my glasses
Damn.
on, so it snuck by me there.
Shout out, Kyle.
Congratulations, Kyle Short. So you are the winner of the Woodward Sports T-shirt. Follow Woodward Sports on all of the social media channels. D-Mac, I was getting some questions, I guess you could say. When we were doing the whole Lions segment, like, is this roster ready to roll? And ironically enough, one of the bigger questions was about the kicker because it obviously is. And I'm wondering, like, did Badgley miss a kick, right?
Well, not in the playoffs, he didn't.
Right.
He only had one real opportunity, that 54-yarder, and I believe it was a Rams game.
And he made it.
Yeah, he did. To his credit, but it's the season as it went along. 40 yards doesn't seem to be his strong suit, and that's like a basic kick in the NFL. So,
okay.
But do I think he's the worst kicker in the world? No, but I would like competition in that room.
And I think there will be. Because you don't think that, listen, the coaches, I got to assume, right, the most frustrating position in hockey is goaltending. Like, kicker is probably one of the most frustrating to coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
So we've seen it in the past. There's been guys in and out or whatever. But to your point, Neal, I think that they like their guys, right? And he's one of their guys. And until he's proven that he's not the best to do it in the building, he'll be there. So I have no problem with it. I think they're all about competition. They bring guys in all the time.
That's true.
So
Badger's got a 59-yarder on the resume.
I mean, yeah, but how often does he hit that? Like, I don't know if I'm betting my house on him making that.
All right, here's the thing. Like I said, I have to work on myself mentally. This is where I'm going to spin it around to the kicker people.
Okay.
All right? This is part of what they do.
That's true.
They don't kick those field goals. And I was doing a little bit of the research on it this morning, as a matter of fact, and taking a look at it. And I see why they don't. Because over the long run, you're far better off going for it.
So
you're far better off going
So their
for it.
point, where if the conversation is they want a guy that can make a 50 to 60 yarder, right? Don't really and extra points,
Yeah.
right? Because pretty much the rest of it, the math says
And he has missed extra points.
that you go.
100%.
So that's the new norm with the big leg.
And
Like
they've
I said,
shown you that.
The problem is he needs to be able to hit from between 40 and 49 consistently. And that's been an issue with Michael Badgley.
Okay.
Because that's a normal kick in the NFL.
But if they like him and he can kick him from 50, then they're going, what's that? What's the 40 to 49er? That's a 23-yard line, so they're going to be going, right?
Yeah.
So 23 to the 30.
I just feel like if they had that guy that can bank those consistently, then maybe Dan Campbell eases up a touch. Just a touch.
I don't
He'll
think
still
so.
be aggressive, but
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
he might side towards the kicker in more situations.
I don't think it matters because they're about dictating.
Yeah.
They're not about reacting.
That's
And
true.
That
is true.
That's another
He
piece
will
of
live and die on,
That's another piece of why it changed. Because they changed what they did as an organization.
That was on the diss track, too.
Yeah.
Kendrick said that Drake likes to dictate.
Badgley in 2021, 8 of 9 from 40 to 49. 2022, he was 9 for 11. And last year was 1 for 1. So the percentages are league average.
True.
So there's that. All right, we did it, everybody. Let's land the plane for D-Mac, for Spencer
Thanks to
Raxter,
the
for
guests.
KG. Absolutely. Big
Marvin,
shout out.
Will.
Marvin and Willie were hanging out as well. I'm Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy,
Deuces.
Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.